Mysterious lights over Capitol spark UFO fears in Washington, D.C. UFOs spark fears of alien invasion across America. Latest Pentagon report reveals hundreds of new UFO sightings. These are just some of the headlines from some of the world's most prestigious publications. In recent weeks, American citizens have been subjected to an unprecedented invasion by unidentified flying objects. And if you think this is just another video figment of fantasy, you can go to the trouble and check before you continue watching, because strange lights in the sky is real. The panic in America is real. But is it an alien invasion, a terrorist attack, a foreign spy mission, a hoax by some sick mind? Or is the US government deliberately striking fear into its own citizens? That's what we'll try to find out in the next few minutes. This is not the first time an encounter with strange lights or phenomena has been reported. Only now it is the first time it is so widespread and obvious. In recent weeks, more than 3,000 UFO sightings have been reported from over 6 states in the eastern United States, some allegedly the size of SUVs. These events have caused serious concern and sparked numerous conspiracy theories. A significant number of people now believe that these objects are alien craft sent on a reconnaissance mission prior to a possible invasion of Earth. Others believe the objects are spy drones operated by the US government. This theory is confirmed by Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, known for her controversial statements, who said, "The government controls the drones and refuses to tell the American people what is going on." Greene is also known for her support of various conspiracy theories. She frequently criticizes the federal government's actions and expresses doubts about its intentions. President Joe Biden has also spoken out on the topic, commenting on the situation, assuring the public that, quote, "There is no perception of danger, and that many of the drones seen are likely legally operating drones. In fact, it looks as if nothing is under control, as no one seems to know exactly what is going on. Yes, the use of drones has undoubtedly increased, but let us not forget that the US has a law on drone flights. All drones weighing more than 250 grams must be registered with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. The maximum height at which they are allowed to fly is 400 feet above the ground. And flights must be conducted within the operator's line of sight, LOS. Flights over people, public events, and certain areas such as airports, military bases, and Washington, D.C. are prohibited. Each drone must broadcast identifying information that allows identification of the operator by authorities. Violators of the law can be fined up to $250,000 and prosecuted. As we can see for ourselves, it is not that easy to get such massive use of drones by citizens. Plus, we think we the people can pretty well tell the difference nowadays, what is a drone and what is not. Agree that suddenly 3,000 alerts of unexplained lights in the sky is a bit ridiculous to be explained by drone flights. US President-elect Donald Trump gave a response about the teeming drones in typical his style. "Take them down," quotes the New York Post. The most disturbing thing about the whole situation, however, is that the FBI seems to be totally confused on the matter. Spokeswoman Amy Thorson admits, "Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of answers, and we don't want to speculate or hypothesize about what's going on." That's what's causing the public to go into a total panic. Citizens are looking for answers about what is happening over their heads, but the institutions of the so-called most powerful country in the world seem incapable of giving them. Against this backdrop, dozens of mysterious sightings of lights in the sky are reported in New Jersey every night. The state's own governor, Phil Murphy, states, "It's really disappointing that we don't have more answers." While some UFO phenomena we can in fact assume to be small private aircraft, the majority of anomalies are justified as drones. But their behavior and flying over sensitive or restricted airspace near military and strategic installations raises many questions. Insiders say that often when tracking technology is aimed at these sites, they simply disappear. Mysterious aerial anomalies have also been spotted by residents in the states of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Virginia, and New York. Runways at New York's Stewart International Airport were closed after sightings of unidentified flying objects in restricted airspace. UFO expert Mitch Horowitz also spoke out about the sightings. "I think we use the term drones because it's comforting to use a familiar term. but I haven't met anyone of serious intelligence who can confidently explain these phenomena. This level of mass observation, where the responsible figures are devoid of explanation, is unique. For her part, Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Singh, in trying to inflame passions and downplay the situation somewhat, actually may have only made it worse with her statement on the subject. Our initial assessment is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary. This has led many to suspect a source from another world. But things get even stranger when you add in the fact that the events come just weeks after 2 public hearings in the US Senate and House of Representatives, at which lawmakers questioned current and former Pentagon officials about intelligence related to the project that was once referred to as the flying saucer. During the House hearing, a bizarre and disturbing report was presented for the first time alleging an illegal, unofficial special access program called Immaculate Constellation. According to the report, the program was designed to detect, quarantine, and transfer UFO data, keeping out of public view the best military UFO images, as well as the best video, eyewitness testimony, and electronic sensor evidence. But what is the Immaculate Constellation program? Independent journalist Michael Schellenberger tells NewsNation's Ross Coulthart that he's been in contact with a whistleblower, but will keep his exact role and other identifying details secret because he fears what could happen to him if he becomes public knowledge. "I don't think this guy is faking or lying. I think he's afraid," he said. He found the materials for the program, but he did it by accident. It wasn't something he was expecting. The unnamed whistleblower says the Department of Defense created Immaculate Constellation in 2017 after a New York Times report revealed another program known as the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP. The eyewitness report cited evidence, including alleged sightings of unidentified flying objects collected by the Pentagon and intelligence documenting first-hand encounters with UFOs that is stored in a database used by the intelligence community. The report also allegedly details various UFOs, including a case in which glowing orbs surrounded an F-22 and forced it to leave its patrol area. In another case, the crew of a naval aircraft spotted an orange-red orb descending from a high altitude, after which the military described feeling uneasy and feeling as if they had come out of a trance. Schellenberger also mentions another source who claims to have seen a 13-minute high-definition video of a white orb emerging from the ocean near the coast of Kuwait. This video was shot from a helicopter and shows an interaction between 2 orbs. The New York Post published a photo taken in late November 2024 by U.S. Air Force veteran and licensed tour guide Dennis Diggins that shows a visible UFO over Capitol Hill. The photo quickly went viral and caused a lot of buzz, setting off a fierce virtual debate on social media. According to the New York Post, Diggins' photo seemingly captures 4 mysterious lights soaring above the statue, which is located atop the Capitol dome. The photo quickly sparked panic on social media, which was heightened by the fact that just weeks ago, Congress held the hearing in question, describing alleged secret government programs related to alien spacecraft. "Already happening," one user wrote. "This is crazy," added another. Although many were alarmed, others were quick to refute the alleged UFO sighting. "The lights of the Capitol building have been triggering UFO sightings in camera lenses for decades," wrote researcher and ufologist John Greenwald Jr. in X. "Just lens flares, but it's interesting that someone is spreading them again, and even more interesting that people believe it. New photo, same glare phenomenon. However, it is very interesting how this reflection from the lens carries over to the video shot in a completely different location from a completely different angle that Reddit user Substantial Jicama 13 posted. A still from the clip is also posted in the New York Post article in question. This further led people to question how these bright lights just materialized out of nowhere. Even assuming that the photo in question commented on by Greenwald is indeed a reflection from the Capitol lights, we are undoubtedly quite far from such a scenario here. We should also add that the area is strictly off-limits to drone flights, and trespassers should be easily and quickly intercepted. Naturally, in case we are really talking about drones with which everyone tries to explain the phenomena. To be completely fair, in some recordings the objects do look like planes, but in others they are just indistinguishable, bright lights that have abnormal behavior. This is quite disturbing, as we may be on the verge of some interaction between terrestrial and extraterrestrial forms that we are being kept in the dark about. Going even further back in time to the Roswell incident and the declassified Project 1794, launched in 1956 to create a flying saucer, the questions become many. How is it that 10 years after this incident, in which it is denied that there was any flying saucer, the US government has launched a program that is pretty much a recreation of the supposed crashed spacecraft? Doesn't smack of reverse engineering to you? It is obvious that something is happening in the skies above the US, but it is worrying that no one can come out and clearly and categorically state exactly what it is. As long as things stand like this, the conspiracies and dark scenarios will continue to pile up on the table. Speaking of bamboozling the masses about the appearance of unidentified flying objects, this is not the first time this has happened. Several years ago, after a series of lawsuits and again major scandals, the US government was forced to release long-covered military footage, clearly showing unidentified flying objects. You can learn more about this scandal and the intelligence officer who testified in court that the US has alien technology in the video you see to the left.